Elden Ring is the game of the year, rightfully so. The recipe for the greatest games is medieval style fantasy. No doubt about it. Some of the greatest games are medieval fantasy open world games. Every single time they win. Skyrim, Oblivion, The Witcher 3. It's absolutely insane. We just love medieval-ish games. It's the lore, it's the treasure chest, it's the secrets, it's the caves, it's fighting the knight, it's fighting the monster, it's fighting the dragon, it's fighting, I don't know, we love these games. Skyrim, to this very day, I continue to play it. And I don't care what nobody says, I believe it's the greatest game of all time, Skyrim. I think it's just the lore, it's the fantasy, it's the customization of these games that makes them very special. And I would, you would think that the futuristic games will be like one of the greatest games of all time, will be the best genre style, if you will, of game. And they are good, and I can't wait to Starfield come out. But medieval worlds, open worlds, is something very special that we can play these games for hours and hours and hours and hours. It's like non-stop. That's the recipe for a great game. And I think Elden Ring did it right. Some people will say, well, it's not, some of these games I mentioned like Oblivion and Skyrim are not officially medieval, but they obviously, come on, they use medieval worlds. I mean, it's a medieval world. Even though they may not admit it, obviously, it's in a medieval time with The Witcher, World of Warcraft. These games are legendary, and I hope we continue to get them. We're starting to see a more influx of medieval games coming out, and I'm loving it. I've been playing it. Game Pass have a bunch of medieval games. Would have been scratching our head, even though God of War would have been is the next contender, would have been the next one to win it. If Elden Ring didn't win it, we would have had like a remorse, like buyer's remorse. Like, wait a minute, this ain't official. You mean Elden Ring isn't the game of the year? So they made the right decision. They won the Japan Game of the Year, and they won the Japan Game of the Year awards, and they won the Game of the Year at the Game of the Awards. So they're the undisputed champions. Elden Ring is the undisputed champions, and when it's all said and done, people are continuing to play this game. It's going to be in people's top 5 or top 10 greatest games of all time. Now we do have games that nostalgia purposes, we may have certain games in our top 5 and top 10, but regardless of that, it will be in people's top 5. Now, I'm not a big Elden Rings fan, but I appreciate the game and I know what the fuss about. I understand the game. So anyway, yeah. So congratulations to Elden Ring. They deserve it. Keep making the medieval games fantasy worlds, open world. We're gonna love it. We're gonna buy it every single time. You won't fail. If you are a nominee in the gaming awards or the Game of the Year awards and you see a medieval style game going against you, you better cross your fingers because they most likely will win. Your game is good, but the medieval time world and dragons and all that is something special, and we can't get enough of it. Well, anyway, I'm Wacky Cat. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and I'm out.
This is just my opinion, just my theory. I could be wrong. I don't know.